And good night, everyone. I am Mang from TBC Meeting Open Day. This is my second attempt after second attempt 24/7 live broadcast after my first podcast was unsuccessful. I'm very pleased to be part of the TBC community as I have learned a lot by reading the articles that was posted up on the blog by the TBC admin, and I have learned many good things about TBC and what it can mean to people around the world. Um, yeah, I have found one of the recent articles which is very, very inspiring, and I think it means a lot to all the member, the TBC member around the world. And in this article, I found something very interesting. Is states that TBC is not a currency with a mission, but a mission with a currency. And I think in every foundation, having a mission is very important because it sustains and it um, maintains and it makes a huge difference in an organization. So, um, with that, the article that I'm going to base this live podcast on is, um, is titled Exception to the Policy of 100 TBC only coming from Google Rewards. Post article which is put up by the admin on the 4th of November 2018. Um, if you have time, you can check this out and read it. This article reads, um, in this article, I will cover why some expectation will be made available to the policy of the maximum amount of TBC coin that can be given to an individual through key reward. Key rewards is 100 lifetime total TBC coins, which you can later see the website and log on to it. Before I get into those exceptions, I need to make a few things very clear. TBC is not a currency with a mission. It is a mission with a currency. When you study the public notice, this becomes very more clear. You can check the website on the article and log on to it. Also, you should know a legal structure. Legal has been in place where all 1 billion TBC coin in a master trust and a sub-trust is created for every TBC wallet, and these coins they hold beneath the master trust. You don't own TBC. Before you get a send button in your TBC wallet, you must pass the send button test, right? Let's look at question 2. Because we are a private community, we are entitled to self-regulation with our centralized coin network and discounter of our coin. And discounter of our coin will have their send button stand off by the admin. Other Other abusive behavior within our TBC community could also result in the same thing. If a member send button is turned off, they will be given a period of time to reform and they can get their send button turned back on. We have seen that decentralized coins tend to lose their value because of a small number of people. Discounting them will drive the price down sharply and ultimately create loss for all users for those coins. A coin such as ours, which is based on the principle of abundance, requires a responsible admin to regulate it centrally. The best way to view our coin is as community property and each member is a steward over the portion. This implied within the membership agreement. Are you allowed to transact our coin at any price of choosing? No. Our coin is part of a private community and you must have to conduct all transactions at published currency price only. Yes, you purchase the coin and it's your property to use as you wish at whatever price. The correct answer is no. Our coin is part of a private community and you have to conduct all transactions at the published currency price only. Pay close, pay close attention to this sentence. The best way to view our coin is as community property and each member is a steward over their portion. This implied within the membership agreement. Once you understand how the subtrust protects you and the whole TBC community, you will get very excited. Let me give you an example of the principle here. The principle is to own nothing and control much. To a poor person, this may not make sense, but rich people already understand this principle. So in this example, there are two dogs. A poor man owns a dog and licenses the dog under his own name, and the dog bites a wealthy man. The wealthy man sues the poor man in court and wins and garnishes his wages to pay off the judge, and the poor man becomes poorer. The second dog belongs to a trust a rich man set up for that dog, and the only thing in that trust is the dog. That dog bites a poor woman, and she thinks she will suddenly become rich by suing the rich man. But 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 the case is dismissed because the rich man does not own the dog, and there is no money in the trust. The point to this example is to welcome the legal structure of TBC and don't obsess over not owning TBC. The problem with the current financial structure is corruption is completely taken over, allowing the holding of wealthy away from the mass majority. It is pure evil that 1% or 99% of the wealth in the world, leaving about 50% of the world population in debt poverty. What a waste of human potential. Strip away the means of a man, and that man is likely to lead a meaningless life. Hope you see how evil it is. This is the reason TBC has been forging a new path away. We are going our own way, centered on truth and not lies. 100 TBC coin is worth a great deal today and will become massive once we reach our objective of 1 billion members. We have 3,309,852 members at the moment of writing this article. So that means each TBC coin is worth 3,309,825 grain. And when we use this third-party calculator, it shows 8,496,665.90, which you can see on the website. It's in the article. Um, when you times that figure by 100 TBC coin, that equals to 8,849,666,550 dollars, $590. Then when we reach our objective of 1 billion members, those same 100 TBC coin will be worth 100 billion grain, which is so big that this calculator cannot process, but it is roughly about 250 billion dollars. At some point, you can draw the conclusion of having too much abundance, especially when you understand the responsibilities that come with having a stewardship. Yes, the TBC billionaires will be The once irrigating future skyscrapers and establishing institutions of their own, and will be able to provide liquidity to the TBC millionaires they align with in the grand mission to raise up humanity. But in order for an economy to work, there needs to be some frictions between socio-economic classes, and not everyone can be a billionaire. Another thing to consider is that there are exactly 1 billion TBC coins. If it was too easy to get 100 TBC coins, then once 10 billion, uh, 10 million members collect them, the admin wallet will run to zero prematurely, and that would be the end of Cookie Reward. And without further incentive to offer, we most likely would not be able to get to 1 billion members. Frankly, if you manage to hit this limitation, you should be concerned about getting even more TBC coins. You must be even more excited and work even harder to help the community get to 1 billion members, knowing that the incentive is to mature your coins to $250 billion. That's a massive stewardship. The TBC community will expect much from you. TBC was never meant to be a mission of casino game only. We, we do not want to raise all members up. In the worst case scenario, you will become a TBC millionaire. A simple transaction of 40 grand worth of criminal will result in TBC millionaire status. And it doesn't get easier than to become a millionaire. What I find interesting is the notion that today you could do such a transaction and then immediately go through the redemption process. And out of sheer ignorance, some people think they should be able to cash it all in. Laugh out loud. Where do these people think that money is coming from? We are in the distribution phase, people. Movement in the millions such as that would only be available once a mature, full-blown TBC or Kringle economy has been established. Think of the distribution phase like a comedium skyscraper being built and being built and cons are being sold long before they are built. People literally are buying air at first. Maybe the foundation has been built and people are buying cons on 10th floor already. The 10th floor won't exist for at least a year, and people feel like they are getting a bargain with their purchase, and they are not wrong. So I think I have cleared up a lot there before getting into the exception on the 100 TBC cookie reward limit. All exception relate to building up membership in TBC. Let's look at how a member could even get to this 100 TBC limit in the first place. Broadcasters certainly have the advantage here. Broadcasters get 1 million cookies for every send button meeting they view. They would have to view 10,000 meetings to hit the limit of 100 TBC coins. That's not likely to ever happen. They also get 1 million cookies for every broadcast that they do, and once it would take 10,000 broadcasts to hit, so meaning, so meaning, and broadcasters are not going to ever reach the limit alone. Broadcasters do get 100 million cookies for each exchange of 40 grand, and it cost about $10,000 worth of Pringles to hit the limit. I can see that happening. I can see that happening in a few cases, but in principle, we don't want to exceed the 100 TBC limit based solemnly on large purchases. That was the main reason I wrote the previous article saying cookie reward is not available for institution. A basic millionaire member that doesn't broadcast get 100 cookie for the same transaction. It would cost 10 billion worth 10 million worth of TBC to hit the limit. So far, they are not there. These are not the ways member would ever hit the limit. Builders that sponsored 100 new members get 1 billion cookies for each set of 100. So a big builder that signs up 1,000 new members could hit this limit. Unfortunately, scammers have swarmed around the TBC community, taking advantage on whatever they can. In the last two redemption period, all referral counted towards cookie reward and email verified was all that was required. Have you noticed most of the recruiting services around TBC dried up and went away once membership was based on paid status and not just email verified? Admin has seen a lot of obvious fraud coming from these recruiting services, and the change to pay status corrected that situation. So if you have enough cookie rewards that exceed 100 TBC limit based on sign-ups and send in a support ticket asking for exception. They better be real referrals. For now, if you signed up over 100 paid referral and ask for an exception, I can accept that and issue the additional TBC coin as and disturbing the reward. But if you try to scam admin by claiming all of your email verified non-paid sign up are real, then you will need to prove it. Get them to become paid and have them complete their profile. A true builder doesn't sign up people and immediately abandon them. Being a sponsor comes with some responsibilities to encourage the recruits to fully plug into the TBC community. We are turning people into millionaires and billionaires. For goodness sake, why wouldn't they want to fully plug in? I'm, I'm just going to say it. If you think you deserve to get more than 100 TBC coin for a half-assed job on your part, you are crazy. On the other hand, if you have carefully read the blog, I have shown you many ways to be a big builder and you can get thousands of new members in in paid status and plug into the TBC community. And for these kind of builders, I really don't have a limit for you. Send in a support ticket and make your case. If you have clean paid referrals and they have completed their profile, then you fit into this exception, and admin will reward you beyond the limitation. Many of you run large meetings and have set a good system to sign up thousands of people. Or perhaps you have partnered with a number of merchants and they have passed out your business cards. I could go along with that as long as you follow up with each other that signed up. I could go along with that as long as you follow up with each that signed up. Some sales funnels also produce thousands of paid referrals. So, like I said, all exceptions relate to building up membership in TBC. We will look at each situation on a case by case. The article will be required reading if you present a case to the help desk and we will investigate. Honesty is the best policy. Thank you very much. This is the end of my broadcast, and I hope what I just said is heard across the world. Thank you once again, and God plus TBC admin.